Okay, so there is a bit of a delay, but I want to see if... Okay. My bad for being so loud. Honestly, I keep forgetting to change my audio. Um, should I talk about that right now? I'll talk about that right now. Real quick, just before we get into a serious conversation here about this, because wow is all I can say, okay? But real quick, I do apologize that my mic might be a little overstimulating at the moment. I was supposed to change my audio settings during Christmas when we did the Sonic Heroes video. But because I haven't been making like just normal proper content for multiple years now, long ass story, I've talked about it many times. You can go watch those videos if you want to hear about everything that's happened in the past, like 5 years and whatnot. But I'm just like, my body's not used to it anymore, and it takes such a toll on me to talk for even like 2 hours. My throat gets really dry. It starts swelling up after like 3 hours of talking. And quite frankly with you, if I have nothing to talk about, then I just rather not talk at all, to be honest. Because like, what am I supposed to say if I have nothing to talk about? I know that's the whole point of being a content creator. That's what we do, is make content. And content needs to be entertaining. I totally get that. But you gotta keep in mind, I've been doing this for how long has it been now? Going on like 13 fucking years, okay? Over half of that I've talked. Basically every single day for videos, okay? This is only like a recent thing where I just haven't been talking as much over the past like 3-4 years or so. Just because there was too much happening and health issues and you know the story. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do this at the menu or not. I was planning to just sit in the practice range to do this, but I might just sit in the menu. So it makes it easier to edit this segment out, because this is going to be its own video at this point, because who the fuck wants to watch staring at a menu the entire time? Probably nobody. So we're not going to do that. So for those of you that are watching this video on its own, thank you for watching this. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like for more rivals. You're gonna get it anyways, because this is like a passion thing right now. It has been since last year, but I need something to be professional at in the gaming scene, and Fortnite ain't it anymore. And Call of Duty ain't it anymore, because I don't even like Call of Duty. And Rainbow Six Siege isn't as good anymore, and I don't play Overwatch anymore, so this is kind of the best I could do. Anyway, for everyone watching over on Kick, I won't be able to edit this segment out on its own, so thank you for just being here right now if you are, if you're watching this afterward. So I'm probably going to retitle this to something like, I don't know, how we lost a tournament before it even started, or something. I don't know what I'm going to title it. But we definitely need to have just a very serious conversation about what the fuck just happened. And if you don't like me saying that word, I apologize. It's just part of my vocabulary. I don't swear to be like aggressive towards someone. Like, I won't call someone something. I just use it as a form of expression. And if that's so bad, then I don't know what to tell you, okay? It's just another word for me to use. I'm not like, calling anyone anything. It's not like an attack on people. I just know the menu isn't very exciting, but shooting bots and stuff will also just overcomplicate my brain right now. So I just want to have one of those moments where we just kind of sit here. You just kind of put me on in the background or something. Where we just have a talk. Which we've been doing a lot the past like 9 months, 10 months, when I was trying to start a business and whatnot. Still am, by the way. Money's just still holding me back still. Uh, money's gonna be the fucking death of me at this point, to be honest. But anyway, so, yeah, the past 9-10 months, I've been super busy. I'm trying to do a lot, okay? And if you thought last year I was doing a lot, I'm doing like 20 times more this year already. Okay, just putting that into perspective. Just because money's holding me back from starting my business doesn't mean I'm not doing everything else I can be doing, okay? And I'm also reaching the point where I'm gonna like fucking beg someone for a part-time fucking job because holy shit, I cannot last fucking like 2 more months of this shit, to be honest. It's been so fucking rough the past like 5 years since COVID, honestly. Even say I can bring it all the way back to like when I was like 12 if I really wanted to, but it's definitely more than just that snowballing into what it is today. But yeah, I'm trying to do a lot every single day. I'm trying to break this fucking cycle I'm stuck in before it genuinely kills me. Okay. I'm not a doctor, so I can't like properly say that is an outcome, but my body doesn't lie and my body knows better than I do, so if that's the way I feel, then that's just probably the truth, to be honest with you. You know? Like, everything the past couple years, or the past few years, combined with everything else throughout my life, has just became this giant fucking, like, hole that I can't get out of. So, with that being said, despite me being so busy, I want to do something with my time before I get too busy with the business and everything, if that takes off, which I hope it will, because I have spent fucking months and months and months on this, and I'm dedicating all my time to this, and learning, and fucking, doing everything I can every single day. Basically to the point, I'm tired and I go to bed. Like, I am constantly... The only time I'm not working on something is when I have my first meal. And honestly, this might be part of the reason why I don't feel great a lot of the time, but I, overwork myself to the point that, I don't even eat, a second or third meal half the time. Most of the time, I don't. Because I'm just, so busy and focused on shit that fucking eating is like a second thought, dude. It's crazy. Aside from my first meal, but a lot of the time I don't even have a second meal afterwards. I just fucking go at it until I'm tired and then I go to bed, wake up, fucking eat, do it again. That is the cycle I've been doing for the past 10 months. It's fucking insane and it's not for everyone and I don't recommend it, to be honest. Set time for yourself, time to relax, or literally to do nothing for an hour or something. Usually before you go to bed, you just literally just do nothing, read a fucking book or something, just minimal activity. But because I'm in the position where it's I don't know how much time I got to make it out of this, so I don't really have time to just wait and quote unquote relax or do nothing, even the past 3 years, I've been single for the past 3 years because I want to be, Do I miss it? Absolutely. But I would never be in the position I am now if I decided just to be in relationships all the time, like I was during high school and after high school. And I never really have, I don't rely on people. I don't trust people enough to fucking rely on people, And at the same time, if I can't provide for myself, why the fuck would I try to provide for 2 people? Let alone 3 or 4 or 5 or, fucking whatever it may be. If I'm not in a position to do that, then what's the point? I'm just wasting more time again with fucking useless relationships that do not benefit me whatsoever. Is it cool for the first week or 2? Yeah. Sex is great. Everyone likes it. Unless you're asexual, then you literally don't. And you rarely have sex. But what am I gonna fucking die if I don't? No. Not at all. I don't fucking rely on it, you know? We're humans. Everyone fucking craves it, unless, again, you're asexual, That's just human nature at the end of the day. But, like, I'm not fucking addicted to it, I'm not gonna die without it. And I'm just tired of wasting my time, you know? If I'm in like a committed relationship with someone that's also committed, then sure, whatever. That's good. I'm okay with that. But I'm not in a position to be dealing with that right now. Nor do I have the time. Nor do I even want to have the time. No offense to fucking anyone that's ever loved me, or to anyone that does want to, Fucking even after high school, there was like a lot of people that were like, "I want you," and I'm just like, I appreciate that, but like, I am not in a position to do that for you, I am a man. A man needs to provide for his family, for the ones he cares about at the end of the day, If I can't provide, then what's the point? What the fuck is even the point? I'm going on a fucking tangent here. I apologize. That usually happens when I'm like, oh, I've been trying to start a business for like 10 months, and usually go on a fucking tangent about everything else leading up to that. Anyway, despite me fucking doing too much all the time, because I just cannot fucking stop until I fucking die, or I just fucking survive long enough to see this out, or see this through, or whatever. Rivals. Rivals came out last December. I loved it. I got addicted to it. I wanted to be great at it because I used to play Overwatch back in high school. It's something I can actually be good at, rather than Fortnite, where it's like, yeah, I hated building. I sucked, and I never wanted to get better at building. So I could just never be good at Fortnite at this point. I can be decent enough, but to like play casually, but not like tournaments and stuff. It's never gonna happen. It's been too long at this point. But during Season 0, because, I'm a Season 0 person. Fucking veterans already. Crazy. But I started doing rank in Season 0 because I was like, yeah, this makes sense to me. Everything just makes fucking sense to me, And I'm a DPS main at the end of the day, thanks to, playing a lot of Call of Duty and stuff like that. So, like, I like, eliminating people as often as possible and, like, cleaning house, if you will. Sweeping lobbies is what I enjoy doing. But Rivals is a hero shooter, so, like, it's team-based. You can't just do that. You can't 1v6 an entire team, basically. Unless you have, like, a Scarlet Witch ultimate or something, then I guess you could, potentially. But anyway, because it's something that I'm decently good at already, just naturally, I wanted to get into the competitive scene, obviously. And the issue with that back in Season 0 is there's people that have, like, never touched a game in their fucking lives, apparently. They have never picked up a controller in their lives, ever. Like, literal cavemen. Everything is just so overwhelming for them, they don't know what's happening. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, if I can't carry the team, then I need to try and keep them alive, at least by being a tank or a support, Just keep them. If I can't keep them alive, then I can block the damage that's killing them, And it got to the point where even that was not enough. Like, I cannot fix stupidity, If someone is just so awful at the game, there's nothing I can do to make them better. I can give them the time they need to, like, deal with their shitty aim or whatever the fuck it may be. But, I can't. That's the best I can do. I can defend them. I can enable them. I can command them even. Not that people fucking like that. But if you're playing poorly, then just, like, listen to advice at the end of the day. People are trying to fucking help you get better. So with that came a lot of burnout. Just because it felt like Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the fucking, like, hills and shit, It's like an uphill battle forever, and you can just never win because everyone else is bad, and no matter what you do, you can't help them get better because they're just that bad. So I was like, okay, I'll just pop in here and there during like events and stuff, and let people get better, which did happen. People are really good now, which leads into a totally different problem where people will like actively play badly now so that you lose games just so you're not getting high ranks and stuff so they can keep you low, which is a whole nother conversation in itself that I will try to not get into. But needless to say, there's a reporting feature, so if anyone is legitimately throwing your games, report them, please. They have penalties in effect for that, and I'm pretty sure the more they do it, the longer that penalty becomes, basically. So, you know, eventually they just won't be able to play anymore, and I urge you to do that to people that are throwing your games, because if you're just rage queuing to the next game every single time you get upset over that, you're not helping the problem, you know? But if we report them, then they can't play the game, and then there's less of them to deal with, you know? We kind of have to take it into our own hands to deal with that kind of thing, unfortunately. Which is a weird position to be in, because I feel like back in Overwatch, there wasn't a lot of that happening. Like, it would happen here and there, especially near, like, the top 500 people. They would, like, just pay someone to just go in there and just do nothing the entire time, you know? So it's definitely, like, not a new thing to games at all, but for some reason, Rivals just seems to just turn that up to extreme all the time. It feels like you'll have 5 games where people are just intentionally doing fucking dog shit terrible, and then you have like 2 good games where like everyone fucking knows what they're doing, and then you're like, what is happening? You know? Which has been a problem for me the past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so now. I made it to fucking Diamond 3, and I have been fucking stuck there ever since. I have not went above that at all in 3 weeks. I went from bronze to platinum in 10 hours. We're at like 80 hours now. The 70 hours I've been stuck at this one level, going between Diamond 3 and fucking Platinum 1, which is fucking insane. And it sucks that I'm not the only one dealing with that. Even, like, the higher ranks above me are also dealing with shit like that, too. Like, it's just a thing that is happening for everyone. It's not just me. Which is why teaming up with, like, you know, friends and stuff is genuinely a good idea. Once you get to, I think, Celestial, you can only queue with 2 rather than, like, 3. And I think if you're below Platinum, you can team with up to 4 people, I think. Because obviously, if you could just have a team with all 6, you would just dominate every lobby all the time. So they don't allow that to happen. You can probably figure out ways to get around that or whatever, I'm sure. But, you know, at least having a duo or a trio to play with is usually, like, a good thing to have. I don't have that, unfortunately. I mean, I got tons of friends in the games, but, like, we've never played together, rarely ever. And most of the people that do want to play, they just want to play quick matches. And I'm just like, why? You know? And, you know, a lot of those people that I have played with in quick matches, they're always like, oh, I'm doing good, or you're doing good, or, oh, we're doing good. And in my mind, I'm just like, yeah, we're doing good. This is fucking quick play. You either got, you know, this is like where all like the fathers play and shit. All the people with full-time jobs. That's where they go. They go to quick play. Of course you're doing good. Not to mention there's also bots. You know? You can be in a bot lobby. Absolutely, those exist. If you wonder why you got like 50 eliminations when the last match you got like 10, probably because you're in a bot lobby. Okay, just putting that out there. Before you get overconfident with yourself, being like, oh, I'm so good at this game. And then you come over to competitive, and then you're like, oh, wow, I suck. You know? There's a big-ass contrast between quick play people and competitive people. Like, it's like night and day difference. That's why I don't do quick play anymore, unless I'm, like, genuinely just trying to like master a character fully. Like Spider-Man, for example, I would like to be a good Spider-Man if that's possible, because he can carry games on his own if you do everything right. Like little to no mistakes. It can feel very much like a single-player experience for you if you can do that. But he's one of the hardest characters to actually use and learn. Anyway, so this tournament started yesterday. Again, I started in Brad's and went to Platinum in 10 hours, so unfortunately I didn't have, the like 2.5 months-ish to prepare for this tournament, to be honest, which is probably the fatal blow in all of this, to be fair. Because I only had like a few weeks, and that's a severe disadvantage already. And, I tried to get as many people as I could who genuinely seemed good at the game. I did account reviews. I watched like 3 to 4 of their games, usually like 2 or 3 where they did good. One specifically a longer match to see like endurance, and then one where they lost to be like, was this your fault? Was this your team's fault? Kind of thing. And looking at win rates and character usages and ban rates and stuff like that, and who they're playing, who they're not, who they're banning, and literally all of that. And we had 9 people for the tournament, 9 out of 12, which seemed like a good number. Looked very promising. Everyone is like Grandmaster or above. We have like fucking me and like maybe 1 or 2 other people that are like in Diamond, and then we have a Celestial person as well, which is good. That shows that people are interested in the faction, and I'll talk more about that in like a separate thing, because obviously we need a proper fucking team. But I tried to do everything I could within my power over the past like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know how long it's been, where I was finding people, because I can check for people that are looking for a faction, or people can send in an application to me, and then I have to filter out all of that. It's like trying to hire people for a business, basically, which is a good thing for me, because that helps me practice that mindset properly before my business actually starts, which is good. That sort of puts me on track for that. But I was doing reviews and everything. I tried to get as many people as I could on like Discord or something, so I can physically DM them or call them if I need to. I'm working on my bronze to platinum like educational video, which is gonna be hard to do because I don't have a good computer like I used to, so I can't just like edit a proper video together. It's gonna have to be something that's like done live, and then I just have to edit out the boring parts of it through like YouTube or something itself, which is unfortunate because it's going to be a lot less interesting to look at. But that's something I've also been spending the past like 3 weeks on as well, and I've dumped a lot of hours into it. It's almost done. I just have the DPS category to do. No, I already did that. Did I do that? What did I do last time? No, DPS is the last category I have left to do. And then whatever final lessons I need to put on that after that, I don't think there is any. But I have to read through the entire thing. It's like... this is gonna sound like actually crazy, but this is just how like serious I am about everything I'm doing. This like bronze to platinum lesson on its own, because I'm writing it all down, or I'm typing it all down rather. It's at like 70 pages already, and I still have like an entire DPS category to finish, plus whatever else I want to add at the end. That's fucking insane, okay? Do you know how many hours that is? Probably not. So I just hope it's well received. Obviously, I'm putting fucking a lot of effort into this. 70 pages already for this educational video, which is probably going to run me like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe. Maybe even longer, depending on how long it takes. I will try to find a way to like turn it into segments for like a YouTube course, or even getting into like the school website for those of you that know what that is. Not to be like another person on there, but there's a lot of things I want to teach about, and Marvel Rivals is definitely one of them because, wow, we'll get into that in a second. But god damn. Anyway, so yeah, that will hopefully be out next week, potentially. I don't have an exact time here, but hopefully that's out next week, and then I can move on to the next one, which is Diamond, and then so on and so forth until we make top 500 and win tournaments and stuff. But it's meant to help anybody with Marvel Rivals, or I guess you can like consider it like at least this first one you can like use for other games like Fortnite, Overwatch, the Call of Duty, whatever it may be. There's a lot of similarities there in terms of like game sense and whatnot. But for people that genuinely want to get better, and I know the player base is not at its all-time high anymore, which is unfortunate, but I feel like they will get there at some point because this shit is great, and I don't think Overwatch is definitely a competitor for sure, and they always have been. That's why Marvel Rivals even exists in the first place, but I don't think Overwatch is going to retain a strong audience like they think they're going to, because people are going to be like, oh yeah, this is run by Blizzard and whatnot, and then it's all going to go downhill again, because that's what happened with Overwatch 2, They promised it would be better than Overwatch, and it was so much worse than just regular Overwatch. And then they had the audacity to beg for your money, after the shit they came out with. It seems like they're waking up a little bit, with this new revamp sort of thing going on, but that's besides the point. I don't care about Overwatch anymore, and I don't care about Blizzard. Just like how I don't like Twitch, If a company does bad things, and they treat people fucking badly, and they just have all this like shady stuff going on, then I don't want to support that company, I don't give a shit. I won't support them. I don't care if I had like 1 million fucking like paying subscribers on Twitch. If I don't like Twitch, then I'm not using Twitch anymore. That's just the way I am, okay? It's the reason why there's so much fucking problems all the time, is because we support it by like not going against it, Anyway, totally different conversation. That's not what we're here to talk about. So, this tournament in particular, like I said, started yesterday. And again, I didn't have enough time to build a proper team. I only had a few weeks to get everything together. And, we had 9 people ready to go. And then signups came around. And I was like, okay, we have like 2-3 days here to have people confirm. We should be good. And 6 people confirmed, and then there was like, I literally waited. I waited until there was like 30 minutes left, because if the teams fill up, then we can't join. If because there's a limit on how many participants there can be, and if we don't have enough people, then I also can't. Like, if everyone doesn't agree to the signups, you just automatically get kicked out of the tournament, basically. So you have to kick those people out of the tournament first for signups to be enabled properly. Or, sorry, rather for your team to register. I don't know why I said that the way I did. So, we already lost 3 people at the beginning. We lost 7, 8, and 9 because they failed to sign up, even though I gave them multiple days. Like, if you were on the day before, you can be on the day after. Take literally 20 seconds out of your day to click a fucking button, and then go back to whatever the fuck you're doing. It's fucking 20 seconds. So we were already down 3. Great, not looking good. But I'm like, okay, maybe we can make this work. I didn't have much hope in that, but I didn't want to put that out in the universe. I mean, like, oh, we're going to lose already. You know, I didn't want to put that out there into the world. And, you know, we came around to tournaments yesterday, and everyone was kind of off and on during the 4-hour window, because my time is 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. is when we have to do our matches. And everyone was just kind of off and on during that time. And I was like, okay, we have like 2 people, now we have 4 people, now we're back down to like 3 people, now we're up to like 5 people, but now we're down to 1. Because we need all 6 people on at the same goddamn time, okay? Holy shit, why? I'll get into that in a second. So, obviously, day 1, yesterday, didn't happen. Because by the time everyone was online all at once, there was like 10 minutes left to do, because we have 10 matches to do. We can't do 10 matches in 10 minutes, brother. If we combine that with today, like 20 minutes game time, maybe? If we steamroll the entire lobby every time, maybe there would be time. But like, genuinely, you want to carve out 2 hours of your time where the entire team of 6 people, it can play together. You know, to do our fucking placement matches, because if we don't do that, we don't get into the tournament in the first place. I don't know how to make that any more clear to people. I don't think I can. Unless you just don't speak English, then why are you staring at my fucking home screen if you don't speak English? Because it's blue, I guess. Blue's cool. Getting heated. Need to simmer down a little bit. Don't want to get too heated during this. That won't be good. Being hard stuck at Diamond 3 is already enough to make me fucking crash out, as it is. But I'm better than that. Anyway, so I was like, okay, everyone is literally online right now. We do not have enough time to do our placements yesterday. So I was like, hey, who's going to be here tomorrow? Around the same time, roughly 2 hours earlier than the current time right now. And the vast majority of people who were active, were online, were like, yeah, I'll be there. And I was like, are you sure you're gonna be there? And they were like, yes, we'll be there. We will be there. And sure enough, we come into today, they're not fucking there. They're not there. Listen, okay, if you got an excuse like your wife's pregnant, or you got into a car accident, or your house is burning down or some shit, like, okay, you know, like, I get it, you know, you're going through some shit. But if it was just like, oh, I don't even know, it's a holiday weekend, you know? Fucking Monday is family day for the States and Canada, and I think most of the world. You know, most people are not working on Monday. You know, and Saturday was Valentine's Day. Cool, I get that. If you're not around on a fucking Valentine's Day, that's fine. You know, show up the next day. Why? What are people's fucking excuses for not showing up? You know? Like, what? Genuinely, what is your excuse? Oh, I forgot, or I didn't really want to. You know? Whatever you can think of. I'm sure people would tell me. And this is where we get into the bigger conversation here that I want to make at the end of this. Because I need to talk about it. Because some people are probably going to watch this and they're going to be like, yeah, you know, I want to join his team, or I want to do tournaments and I want to be competitive, or whatever. Or maybe just you like my content and the sound of my voice. I don't know. I say for most people watching this that they're genuinely interested in participating, you know, getting better and whatnot. Here's the thing, okay? Here's the big thing, and please, for the love of God, listen to this, okay? If you got me fucking muted, then unmute me. You won't hear me say that, obviously, but hopefully you did it anyways. I I need to say this as like clearly and straightforward as possible, so people just understand. Okay, if you are entering in to a tournament that pays out money, real life fucking money, like we get paid for this, treat it like a part-time job. Okay? If you have the time, treat it like a full-time job. But if you don't, treat it like part-time. Okay? If money is involved, if there's a prize pool to be won, you need to take this shit fucking seriously. Because if you don't, you're letting your entire team down. Every single one of them. And anyone that fucking was like excited about you, you let them down too. You're gonna let your future down too. If you need this money like I do. Like I need this. This could change my life right now. For most people, they can make that in like 3 months. Part-time, full-time, fucking whatever, They can make that shit in like 3 months. I'm not in a position to do that. Okay? This 7,000 or like 14,000, whatever the fuck it is for first place, may not be a lot to some people, especially when it's being divided between like 6 people or whatever, But, for me personally, getting my fucking business started, is like under $100 a month that I need to pay to get just 2 clients. And after that, if I want more than 2, that's gonna cost me like $500 a month. A month. 1 client pays for that easily. That's the whole point, is that the clients pay for the business to operate, basically. And then, whatever's left is profit after that. But, like, it's not cheap. It's not cheap. This ain't no fucking $5 fucking, like, pack of gum or some shit. This is like a full-time commitment to your bank account, I think it's like $80 a month. That shit is not cheap. But even having just like $1,000, maybe a little bit more, is enough to get me through like 6 months of trying to get just 2 clients, which should be fucking easy. That should be easy. The first month probably gonna be the hardest, no doubt about that. But every month after that, it should be easier and easier and easier. Getting the first 2 is the hardest part. But if I'm dedicating full time to that, there's a reason why I'm like, I can get 1 client a week, just on my own, doing everything. 1 client a week. 1 a week. That should be doable for literally fucking anybody ever. Okay? You just have to put in the fucking time and show up. It's very important. That's just a small example of how just, like, a smaller amount of, like, prize money could be beneficial to someone. Okay? That can change my life. I can get healthier again. I can buy groceries again, because I haven't been able to buy proper groceries in, like, 4 years, by the way. So take that with what you will. It explains a lot, I'm sure, on why I just am the way I am right now. But, because I'm in a position where, like, money is, like, my number 1 thing holding me back right now, I've got the business registered, I have the lessons written down. I have hundreds of pages of handwritten fucking lessons that I could just go back to, like a dictionary, whenever I need to, like, catch up on something, or if I have, like, a question, I can just go back to that, It's like my own fucking business Bible or some shit. It's crazy. On just how fucking, like, seriously I'm taking life right now. It's something I wish I did back in, like, high school. But, most people, they're not in that position. They have the craving to want something. They have a little bit of a drive to want something. But it more boils down to, like, I don't really need it. I want it, but I don't need it, And that's a very big, like, factor into the way you live your life. If you want something, cool. But if you need something, you will do whatever the fuck you can to get that thing you need, If you're in a desert and you need fucking water or you're just gonna die, you're going to do everything you possibly can to find water before you give up and die and just turn into fucking ashes or whatever, you know? There's a difference between wants and needs, okay? And most people want money, you know, but they also have like full-time jobs, or like you're working for the government or whatever, you know, or like maybe you're even like a full-time streamer or something. I don't know why you'd be watching this. If you are, you should be getting back to getting paid, but you know, most people, they just want more of what they have. But when you're someone like me in the position I'm in, I don't even have that. I don't have a full-time job. I don't have a part-time job. And no, if anyone is fucking new to listening to me talking right now, okay, if you're like new to my channel, for the love of fucking God, okay, no, it is not because you think I'm fucking lazy or some shit, okay? It's like exact opposite. I would not be spending the past 10 months doing what I'm doing if I was like some lazy fucking scumbag or some shit, okay? Just straight up. It's the fact that I had health issues since COVID, and I've lost jobs and jobs and jobs after being there for less than 3 months because I was getting sick so often. To the point, mind you, I can't get out of bed even if I had to eat or rush to the washroom or anything like that, or the house is burning fucking down. Like, that's how sick I was getting every month or two for the past 4 years. Last year was good. I only got sick once last year, and I haven't gotten sick this year yet. I just had a lot of stomach issues since Christmas dinner. Still have it, by the way. Don't know what's happening with my stomach. It's kind of concerning me a little bit because we're in the fucking, like in the middle of February now. My stomach is still not feeling right. Anyway, back to the point at hand here. If there, for the love of God, if there is a tournament and money, real life, tangible, like money that goes into your bank account or cash or a check, whatever, if real life fucking money is involved, you need to take this shit seriously. There's no way around it, okay? You literally need to treat it like a part-time fucking job, okay? You gotta sit down. You gotta set days where you're like, I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna learn this, you know, or I'm gonna do scrims with the coach or whatever, you know, or I'm gonna, you know, join this like lesson that we're doing together for like 30 minutes to like, you know, and whatever, you know, like I just there's no other way for me to say it, man. If you're not taking it seriously, if you look at the prize pool and you're like, don't show the fuck up, okay? Just don't show up. Don't join a team. Don't even bother playing. Just fucking, you know, go somewhere else. go do your fucking quick play or whatever the fuck you're doing, okay? If you're not serious, don't waste people's fucking time, okay? Honestly. And sure, maybe you're someone that just literally has no fucking life or whatever, and you get like a thrill out of doing that to people, wasting people's time. You know, sure, you're like a special breed of fucking demon, I suppose. But if you're genuinely like, yeah, that would be cool, but I don't know, just don't waste people's fucking time, man. Straight up, okay? The teams that take it seriously are the teams that fucking win, okay? People don't win by being like, oh, I hope this works, or I'm gonna use a character that no one else uses, you know, or I'm gonna learn all this stuff on how to do good and be better, and then just not actually do any of that stuff, you know. I'm still going into this open fucking field with a team of 6 looking at me and being like, hey, I'm not getting any heals. It blows my mind that people could be like genuinely like, I don't want to call them stupid. It's more like an ego thing. But like, people need to realize that sometimes you are the problem. And to be 100% transparent, sometimes I am the problem too. Absolutely. Not all my games are perfect. Not all my positions are perfect. Not every fucking character, you know, I'm still learning how to do all of that properly. You know? I'm investing a lot of my time into this. But some of you just have no fucking excuses. You really don't. I think the worst ones are like Spider-Man. You know? If you're someone who has a lot of movement abilities, you know, are able to just kind of fly around the map at your own free will or whatever, you know, and you can kind of you support yourself, if you will. Don't ask for fucking healing because you don't need it. You need healing? Go get a health pack. You don't know where health packs are? Why you want that character then? Because he's cool. Because he's cool, okay, but you don't actually know what you're fucking doing, okay. Right. Oh, God, it hurts my brain. It really does. I don't get it. I don't get it. And, like, you know, sometimes, and, you know, this happens to me too sometimes, you know, when I'm, like, going into the enemy team, you know, a little bit more, and I'm pushing them, kind of like solo or with a tank or something. And then sometimes you do genuinely forget to be like, oh, where's the cover around me? Like, am I like 10 walls behind my healer right now so they can't heal me? You know, like, you know, what's the situation there? And that also bothers me. And you know, maybe this is the fact that I've been playing support for so long now, just because I'm just trying to keep the bad people from dying all the time, which is something I need to just give up on, and I need to start. Literally, I just need to master dive. I need to take out the enemy healers, and then there you go. You fucking, you know, well, I killed them. Yeah, you did, because they're not getting healed anymore. That's how little damage you do. As I had to take out their supports, so you can actually do something. And that's the position I need to get myself into, I think. But anyway, going off tangent here. You gotta think about what you're doing when you're in a match, okay? And this is true for everyone, even top 500 people, top 1%, fucking whatever it may be. This is true for everyone. You need to pay attention to what you're doing, okay? If you're a tank going into a fight on your own without like any DPS backing you up or support to back you up, then of course you're going to die. You rushed in alone and now you're dead because there's 6 people targeting you. Of course you're dead. And you're going to have the audacity to spawn back in and be like, I'm not getting healed. Or, there's no damage. There is damage. You're just going in fucking ahead of everyone for no reason. That's not what you do. We are like we're a fucking unit, okay? You know, like fuck. I can't make it any more obvious, can I? I really can't. You can't fix stupidity or whatever. You know, I don't want to sound rude. Some people genuinely are trying and they're just not like good enough, and you know, that's okay. But I just people that play games, you understand where I'm coming from, though, right? You know. Like, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, my team's bad every single time, especially when I'm the issue, you know? There has been times where my team has been like, wow, you are doing really bad. And I look at my, you know, how I'm performing, and I'm like, yeah, I am doing bad, and I'll, you know, I need to own up to that and do better. You know, there is times where that happens. But a lot of the time, because I'm just genuinely good at hero shooting games, a lot of the time it is my team not being good, especially if I'm a support, you know? Like, if I'm constantly dying as a support, just because I'm, like, not using cover and stuff, then yeah, that's on me and I'm throwing the match just because I'm dying too much to, you know, keep you alive. But if I have the least amount of deaths in a game, and like the most amount of healing, then I tried my best to carry that match, you know? I did the best I could, and it wasn't enough. Which is why I want to get into like the dive mentality a little bit more, I think. That way I could just go behind the enemy lines, take out their support, and sort of, you know, help the team that way, because blocking damage to keep them alive, that doesn't matter when they don't know what they're aiming at. Or if they're hitting the fucking ground. I've seen so many people just shooting the ground. Why? Why are we shooting the ground? Especially in Diamond. That's a bronze thing to do. Why why are we shooting the ground? You know? Or like, you know, if we go into a full 6v6 team fight, you know, we're getting into a fight together, 6v6, and let's say one support goes down and like a tank goes down or something, or like a DPS goes down. You know, now we're down 2 and they still have 6. What are we doing still trying to fight it? If we don't have an advantage, like if they're not already all below half health on the enemy team, we need to fall back. You know, we cannot win this. And most people will just be like, oh, I'm gonna keep trying. Oh, we got this. And then those 4 people fucking get wiped out. And now we have this like fucking issue happening where now we have 2 people going in and then they die, and then, you know, it just becomes this fucking endless cycle of people just dying over and over again instead of fucking grouping, which is so important. I can't stress how important that is. But like, if you know, if we're like on even odds and whatnot, and they're like below half health, then yeah, we can win that. If we play our cards right, we can win that, absolutely. You know, not a problem with that. But if it looks like we're not gonna win, don't try. Literally, like, just die in game, obviously. But like, you know, get eliminated as fast as possible, especially if you're a Doctor Strange. If you are a Doctor Strange and you are dying last every fight, you are throwing as a Doctor Strange, okay? Because you can't portal anyone if everyone's already back in the fight and you're not. Okay? Portaling's not going to help anything. And if you portal back just for you, that's not very beneficial to anybody. If you're a Strange, literally never get eliminated last. If you see your team is dying all around you, you need to go die with them. You know? That's just the way it is. You need to get into that mindset a little bit. Anyway, rambling aside, you know, we obviously, you know, I think the most we had was 4 out of the 6 people we needed today. Which sucks because the other 2 were online before the tournament started. Then they went offline. Then we just waited for fucking 4 hours for nothing. 4 whole hours for nothing. Okay, you know, what the fuck? What are we doing? Genuinely. And that is partly, you know, due to the fact that, you know, I only had a very limited amount of time to throw a team together properly. And, you know, do account reviews and whatnot, and, you know, get to know some people and, you know, make sure they're legit and, you know, they're able to play. So for the next tournament, it'll be a lot easier, to say the least, because this now gives us, I believe, 2 months from now the next tournament starts. It's going to be sometime between like April and May, I would assume, is when the sign-ups begin, because it's going to be like the summer tournament, because it's quarterly, which is also good for the business mindset, obviously. But this first quarter is not going well for anything I have planned already for. Not making much progress, and that'll be a different conversation if I decide to talk about it. Just more serious conversation about like life. But some people don't like that. Like they're cool when I talk about like games and stuff, but when I start talking about like real life shit, they don't really like that too much sometimes. But at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, our team basically disqualified before we even got to play a single match, because not everyone showed up on time. Okay? This is why you need to treat it like a part-time job. You need to show up, because if you don't show up, you're gone. You're gone. You're never coming back. I might even block them as fucking players I can play with, to be honest with you. That's how, like, just not okay that is to do. Alright? And if you have an excuse, again, you know, your house is burning down, your wife's pregnant, you know, some actual real life shit, then, like, I understand that. You know, tell me the truth. If that is what happened, that is okay. You know? There's always next time. You know? But, like, if you literally just forgot, or you're like, I don't really care, then why waste our time? Why waste my time for the past, like, 3 weeks, in the past 4 hours alone. Why waste my time? Let alone the people that are actually fucking serious about this on my team, which would be Rex and Bobby at the moment, as well as Weird Symbol Guy was also there, but I tried to message him and he didn't really reply, so I'm probably kicking him out too, because like he showed up last minute, dude. Like, I know I said I was gonna kick people out if they weren't online. And that guy technically was online, he was extremely late. So I may keep him around until I get a response from him to be like, what happened? He can give me his fucking spiel or whatever. But Rex and Bobby, 2 people out of the 6 people, excluding myself, obviously, so 3 out of the 6 people, actually showed up on time, ready to go, you know, probably haven't eaten anything since like lunchtime, which is the same for me. I haven't eaten in the past like 6 hours now, just because I was getting ready for this, you know, and I thought everyone was on board for that. I really did. And I'm upset, you know. Yeah, I'm upset. There's no way for me to sugarcoat that, you know. Is it their fault necessarily? Probably. You didn't show up when we needed you, you know. That's 100% on you, you know. But again, if money is involved, treat it like a part-time job or even a full-time job if you got the time to. But that also means, like, it works the same way. If you don't show up to work, you get fired. If you don't show up for fucking trainings and tournaments and shit, then you get kicked out. You know? Just straight up. That's just the way it is. If you don't show up, you're just kicked out. That's just the way it is. And that's probably like the biggest lesson going into this next tournament is literally just show the fuck up. You know? Just literally, like, that is half the battle right there, showing up. If you don't show up, we can't do anything. You know? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and we didn't get to take any, so we lost it all before it even started. And it's so heartbreaking, because I put so much effort into this. But, again, next tournament, it's a few months down the line, summertime. You know, hopefully I have money to work with by then. And, you know, I'm going to take this even more seriously than I already am. Which is crazy to think, because I'm already taking this more extremely than like some top 500 people, to be honest with you. That's just the mindset I'm in right now, because I need this shit. Most people just want it, but I fucking need it, dude. So, for those of you that watched this part of the video, or watch it when I edit it to make it like its own thing, or people on Kick, you know, if you're watching and listening to this, if you are interested in participating in Rivals tournaments, on console, particularly, because my computer's not good enough to do anything else, but if y'all are genuinely interested, you want to be good, you want to learn to get better, you know, and it's something you're interested in, then let me know, genuinely. Like, I might make a whole, like, email service or, like, a Discord server or something, just so people can, like, actually, like, hit me up and be like, hey, I'm interested in this, you know, here's my username and whatever. Because I don't want people just doing that in the chat all the time, because not everyone has good intentions and whatnot. I want to protect people as well. But is some of you watching this now or in the future, if you genuinely are interested in joining tournaments and stuff, and you're not, like, below platinum rank in particular, just because we need to be on, like, a similar skill level here. Because if you're just really, really bad, you're not going to be able to pull your weight on the team. You know what I mean? You may have good moments here and there, but if everyone's doing, like, 90% of the work and you're carrying in that, like, 10%, then, like, you know, you're not doing the most that you could be. You know, it's no offense to you or anything if you're, like, a low rank or whatever, but just get better. You know, climb the ranks, get into position, you know. Almost every member on my team, before I start kicking people out, which right now is going to be 2 people, Rex and Bobby, they're good. But most of those people are Grandmasters, and Rex is a Celestial player, you know? A lot of these people have been Grandmasters for, like, seasons upon seasons, you know? Or, like, they peaked in Celestial, and they joined my team. I am a Diamond 3 Plat 1, and I've been stuck there for 3 weeks, you know? I'm not on the same level as these guys, but they're, like, more trusting towards me. Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what I need to be doing, you know. I just haven't hit that status yet. Because no matter how hard I try, I can't carry a team of 6 deadweights. I just can't. I would like to be able to, so I can just win every single game ever, no matter what. With some exceptions, of course, obviously, but if this was something like Call of Duty, it'd be so much easier to carry the entire team. Because when I'm back in the Black Ops 3 days, dude, there were some like team deathmatches and whatnot where I have like 70 eliminations during just one match. And to put that into perspective, right, if you don't play Call of Duty, usually when it's a team deathmatch, you need 100 eliminations to win the match. And yeah, that's basically, I did 70% of the work on the team. Single-handedly on my own, and usually died the least amount of times too doing that. Just to put that into perspective of what I am capable of if I'm given the opportunity to be. You know, sure, that was back in like 2017, 2018. That was almost 10 years ago now. So, you know, I don't want to say I'm hitting like Gramps fucking status when it comes to games quite yet, because I'm only 25, and I've been making content for 12 years, and everyone always assumes that like I'm super old when I say that, but like I literally started making content when I was 13, so calm down a little bit, please. I'm not like 40 or 50 or some shit. I'm literally 25. Unfortunately, you know. I feel like I'm 80. 25 feeling like I'm fucking 80, and it sucks. But I'm not as old as people think I am sometimes. Anyway, we're going off tangents here, and that don't matter. If people are interested in doing tournaments, and you're watching these, or you watch my Raffles videos, you know, just let me know. Just hit me up, let me know. Again, I'll try and make like a new email or something, or like a Discord server for people to just to prove themselves and whatnot, and, you know, give applications and whatnot, because again, you gotta treat it like a job, you know. There's gonna be like actual interviews with people and whatnot, like literally, who are you, what do you do, you know, the whole shebang, you know, what roles are you good at, what's your experience, you know, like literally like a job interview, basically, same fucking thing, which is good, because I'm trying to start a business, again, obviously, but anyway, with that all being said, I am both sad and upset that this happened. You know, regardless if we even made it past open qualifiers into double elimination, you know, or even if we got to like quote closed qualifiers, which is like the redemption stage that you can come back from into the double elimination. Which kind of sucks, because you're putting like the better people against like the not so good people. But that's just the way it's structured. But, you know, even if we didn't make it past the first like 10 matches, basically, you know, at least we would have showed up. At least we would have put the time in. At least we would have had matches played and experience from it. To be like, okay, this is what's working, this is what not working, this is the best composition for our team, or this is who we need to like be banning more often than not, whatever, you know? And we'd have that coordination in place. But we didn't get to play a single match. And I checked the rankings. We're not the only one. I've seen some factions that just had no one online at all, and they, you know, we're not the only ones that are in this position right now that didn't get to play a single match. Just 10 matches, by the way. That's 2 hours or less. Unless every match was an hour somehow, then it would be 10 hours, but that wouldn't happen. Because there's a 4-hour window there, but my team is not the only team that is in this exact same position right now where we did not get to play a single match. As much as that fucking sucks to hear, it is the truth. And on the bright side, if you want to think about it that way, a lot of people are going to give up. A lot of people are going to be like, wow, that sucked. I just wasted all this time for nothing. Some people have made teams for the past, 2 months. And everyone's like, yeah, I'll be there. And then they just don't show up, It's enough to make people quit immediately. Some people are never playing this game again because of that. They're never coming back because of that, And there definitely needs to be a way around that, For the captain, at least on a team, they need to be logging in to the game every 7 days, or the entire faction gets deleted, basically, and the team just sort of fades away. And I think that needs to be true for anyone in a faction, if it's not already. Everyone needs to show up at least once a week, But I think they need to, track actual game time as well. Because if they just show up once a week and they just sit at the menu for, 10 minutes, that's not doing anything. They're not getting better. They're not training. They're not practicing. They're not doing anything, Versus the person that shows up, on weekends, and putting in, 20 hours on a weekend or something, That's important. Versus the guy that just sits at the menu for 10 minutes once a week, just so he doesn't get kicked out. So I think developer-wise, they do need to have something in place for this, because unfortunately, you can't just take people's word for things. You can't trust fucking anybody, and I hate it. I really do. This has been a problem since the day I was fucking born, is that you literally can't trust anyone. I couldn't even trust my own fucking father. The guy that's raising me, I couldn't even trust him. Sorry, I didn't mean to click that. Long story that I won't get into. Yeah. That's my rant about this topic. Is literally just show the fuck up. That's the moral of the story here, is show the fuck up. Okay? It's just like a job. If you're not showing up for work, you don't get to work anymore. Which means you don't get paid anymore. Which means now you have no money. Which usually means now you can't pay your rent or buy food. Which usually means now you're starving to fucking death in your apartment alone. And now you're just a corpse, and you're dead, and now your landlord is to clean you up. That's the reality of life itself. If you cannot provide for yourself, you will die. Absolutely. Take it from me, because I've been homeless twice, okay? If you cannot sustain yourself, you just die. There's no way around it. You can't just not eat food for 2 months and expect everything to be fine. That's not how life works. Okay? It's the same shit when it comes to tournaments where money's involved. Same exact shit. If you don't show up, you get kicked out. You're not gonna starve to death or anything because of it, unless you relied on this money like I am a little bit. I need that money because I have no fucking money after rent. That's all I have fucking money for, is to pay rent. And obviously to, cigarettes and whatnot, which I would like to quit smoking if I'm able to, but haha, can't do that with no money. It's a stupid endless cycle, and I hate it. It's draining every ounce of willpower I have left within me to want to even just continue living life as a whole, to be honest, but I won't get into it, okay? I won't get into that. That's just, where I'm at the moment. But anyway, that's really all I wanted to talk about, is just what happened today, Again, I'm going to edit this part out and just make it its own video, Probably, so people just aren't sitting at the fucking menu for the 4 hours I was, basically. I mean, we did like, I don't know, 3 matches. And then I was like, yeah, we're running out of time though, so now I need to just spam this 5-minute button to let everyone know, hey, we need you, you know? So I'm upset that I wasted all that time doing nothing, basically. And I'd like to do some more matches tonight if possible. I would probably just have to end this video to start up another one, since this one has like a delay on it and whatnot. So we didn't get like stream sniped or anything. But at the same time, I also just want to go to bed and just pretend like this never happened. To be honest with you, you know, I am ready to call it a day and fucking move on. To be honest, tomorrow's a new day or whatever. Kind of shit. I'm also hungry. It's been 6-7 hours since I've eaten or whatever. 8 hours. I didn't even say that intentionally. I'm sorry. I literally just meant 6 or 7 hours. My bad, yo. I didn't mean that. Genuinely, I didn't do that on purpose. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. I would like to do more matches, but I'm just like so heartbroken right now, you know? That sucks, man. That shit sucks. And I'm hungry and sad. You know? It's also getting hot as fucking here. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, what happens. I could maybe make food and then we can do some matches for like another hour or 2, maybe. Just to get something in, to get our mind off of this and pretend like it never happened. And I still need to kick these 2 people out. Potentially 3 people out. Which is, you know, that gives us 3 people, at least for the next tournament already. Rex and Bobby, they obviously seem like they're serious because they showed up on time for the most part. So they could be trusted a little bit. Aside from Bobby, I haven't done a review on him yet, so I don't actually know anything about him. But Rex, he seems legit. He's got a TikTok that I checked out. It doesn't seem like he's been posting for that long, realistically, but he's got the hours to back up his claims, and, you know, he's been part of other teams before, and he's been coaching on other teams before. So it'd be cool to have him as like an actual proper coach. Like, here is the lessons we need to teach people, and you're the one to do that. I'm the one to create it, basically. Because some of the things I also need to be learning as well, you know? As weird as that may be sometimes, you know? I'm just the guy that's making everything happen, you know? I have the information, I have the knowledge, I have the lessons, and whatever. But at the same time, I also need to be paying attention to all of that stuff. As if I didn't create it. Which is kind of weird. It's a weird position to be in, honestly. It's a weird little loophole where I can create things for me to learn, basically. It's weird. It's I don't know if a lot of people can really relate to that or not, but anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm hungry, though, is all I know. Hungry and disappointed. And, yeah. We may be back tonight, maybe. We could do something else. I don't know. Because I do need to go to bed relatively soon. I just need to also finish the rest of my laundry as well. Now that I have the time to do that again. And yeah. Thank you all for participating, I guess. Sorry that this was a waste of time for literally all of us. It sucks. It really does. We're not the only team that had to deal with it, you know? But this will never happen again, is all I can say confidently. I don't even care if we get, like... I don't even care if we don't make it past open qualifiers fucking in the next tournament, like 2 months from now. I don't care how poorly we do. People not showing up is never happening again. If people don't take it seriously, then just don't fucking be here. As simple as that. And I'm gonna make that like a rule and a requirement, just straight up. Like if they don't show up for trainings, then they don't deserve to be on the team at all. You know? I don't care if you think you know everything already and you don't need to know certain things. Then you're in a position to teach them those things. You know? Everyone needs to be present. I don't care. Especially if it's like a shorter thing or it's like 30 minutes long, just fucking show up. Just show up, be present, be there. You know? This is the way it is. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Thank you to everyone over on YouTube and Kick. Sorry that I also wasted your time as well, alongside my entire team and myself. I apologize. This was not supposed to happen. Was not planned for at all. Everyone said they would be online at the right time, and only 3 of us were, and then 1 guy showed up late, and the other 2, they're no-shows. So, nothing I could do about that. And I showed every little bit of it, of me sitting at that fucking menu, waiting. Okay? So, you know, there's the evidence that I did that. Thank you, at least, for watching me suffer yet again, because that seems to be all I'm good for, apparently, is just suffering all the time. Don't know why. That is, like, my life's purpose. Kind of weird. It is what it is, I guess. And, yeah. I'm hungry. I need to finish my laundry. And that's it. Will I be back tonight? I don't know. There's a possibility, but I don't want to promise anything. Oh, excuse me. And I'll try to get back to our usual schedule, but I might need to tweak it a little bit, since I need to definitely put more hours in. I need to practice more and get better and whatnot still. For the next tournament. I know that's, again, a few months from now, but that's more than enough time to get better. You know? I tried to do it just on weekends alone, but that's not enough. Like, it's good, but it's not enough. And if it's not for content, I don't really do it. You know, like, this is more than just for content, for Rivals specifically, but basically, if I'm not showing it, then I'm not doing it, basically. It's just the way my brain works. There's very rarely do I ever play a game just for no reason. You know, usually there's a purpose behind it. And, yeah. So, yeah, maybe I gotta change my mindset on that, too. You know? Put in, like, an hour or 2 every day or something. Just get some practice, you know. Get better. And, yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. Thank you for trying to be there if you were on my team, and thank you to everyone who tried to watch this moment together. It was supposed to be cool and exciting, and it wasn't. This is the worst outcome it possibly could have been. So, we can only do better next time, if there is a next time. And, yeah. I look forward to the next one. Hopefully you guys do too, and yeah, that's it. That's all. Thank you for hanging out, and yeah, I'll see you all whenever I see you all, which may be later, it may not be. I don't know. Like I said, hungry, and gotta finish laundry. Okay, Monday's also a holiday though, so I might be back regardless, because I don't have to worry about waking up as early. So, we'll see what happens. I just don't want to promise anything. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. This is delayed by like 30 seconds or whatever, a minute, whatever it is. So, just apologize for when this ends abruptly for you if it does. And yeah, I'll see you all whenever I see you all again. Either tonight or tomorrow. Because I'm here basically every day. I try my best. I don't think the whole like 12 to 6 p.m. starting time is really gonna work out. I think this is more of like an after like 5 to 6 p.m. kind of thing is the way it's shaping up to be, because there's just so much I'm trying to do during the fucking day. But yeah, see you on the next one. Thank you again. Subscribe if you're new. Follow on Kick if you're new. And yeah, apologies again that this was a waste of time for quite literally everyone. You're not alone. I was here too. Unfortunately, I wish I kind of wasn't, but I am, because I'm the fucking captain and I have to be.